going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. So just wanted to do a quick recap on today's trading. Gonna go ahead and get started and making sure I have the right stocks to pick from. So just gonna kind of talk about how the day started off. So overall, pretty excited morning. A lot of activity within our group when it came to TechBud Solutions. So if you guys don't know already, TechBud Solutions is a free group you could join. It's pretty much a group that I started that kind of connects like-minded individuals, so motivated entrepreneurs that want to speak to or kind of network with people that are investors. When it comes to trading penny stocks, real estate, and any market of business altogether. So really quickly, let's see if I can find today's beginning. So it's gonna be right around here. So I was like, good morning, traders. Everyone starts out, on a good note. Pretty much send out the alert to NUGT that it might bounce at 55 as it was dropping pre-market. And I said most likely going to come back up to the $6 mark. And looking at NUGT on how it did today, it pretty much did exactly what it is that I predicted. And again, you can't really predict stocks, right? You can kind of just go based on previous trends. So when it comes to NUGT, we're going to do a 10-day analysis. Let's actually do a little bit shorter because I had quite a bit of a drop. So kind of let's get that ugly thing out of there. So right there, and then let's go into 10-minute increments. So when I was looking at NUGT overall, I guess let's do 5 days. Still too big. Right there. So when looking at NUGT, it tends to have a pretty strong safety right around that 550 area as it did right here. So the initial drop when it came from like $7-9. Came down and hit pretty strong and hit 555. So that is exactly why I said I pretty much suggested that it has a 52-week, not a 52-week low, but it has a safety at 55 cents, and wait for the bounce because it might break below. And in doing that, we waited for the bounce. So today's trading pre-market was already like really low. Pre-market opened in the red. So yesterday it was trading at $6, and based on the history on this, it tends to do pretty well. It tends to go down and then pick back up to the $6 mark, or even go above that. So I thought because it dropped pretty low, that most likely people were going to try to ride it up. So with that being said, that's why I suggested wait for the bounce, make sure you see that upward momentum, and be sure to set a stop loss to minimize or lock in any profit that you might have going in. So with that being said, we went in, waited for the bounce, went to low. So my low points are going to be right here if you guys want to look there. So right there, you can see the lows were 551. Started picking up, and once it broke 560, I let the team know that I was buying in. So I bought in at 560, rode it all the way, bouncing, a little bit of a resistance here at 570. As you can see, this was an old safety, so that only makes sense. So I, continue to hold, and right when we got to that $6 point, I saw it struggle to go above 610, and it started to drop back down, and it started to kind of plateau. And with that being said, I sold at $6 flat. Overall, with this trade, I believe I made 39 cents with a $2,500 initial investment, so brought in about $175 within the day of trading. This is for NUGT itself, so pretty successful trade. Had a couple traders buy in, a little bit lower than me. Got in a little bit earlier as well, but overall, a green day. And thanks to NUGT and the trends that we've been able to predict with this stock itself has allowed us to this success when it comes to trading this specific stock. Let's go this way. Rex also had a pretty green day. Well, it started off on a green note. Started off with really strong volume, not a lot of resistance. Broke the resistance at started at 48 cents. Based on the history, we know that 48 is a strong safety. 42 tends to be the resistance, and then I gave it a big shout out because it broke the resistance at 52. So volume spiking, it's breaking 52, and then it ended up breaking, and then started coming back down. But we tend to trade these companies quite often, so we know them pretty well, and we know that when they break 52, they tend to hold pretty well below 54 altogether, as that is another really strong resistance. So with that, hit 53 and a half, and then came back down and kind of plateaued a little bit under 50 cents, as it tends to do, towards the closing hours based on the history for Rex itself. So the volume's always very low. And then the other one that I want to talk to you guys that had a pretty good day that I traded was LPCN. I did not catch it at the bounce, which I do regret. I actually gave this one a shout out a couple days ago as it hit 330 and bounced I actually read it from 330 and sold at 350, but or 335, and I sold at 354, I believe. But continue to rise, and broke the resistance as we were talking about a couple days before, and broke $4, and that's when I gave it the big shout out because all my alerts were going off. So I saw it breaking, 380, 390, $4, and when it broke $4, I bought in at $4. I knew there was a resistance based on the history of LPCN, right around that 420 mark. So with that, told the team to watch out, and let's see if I can draw it out for you guys. So as you guys can see, old safeties, as you see right here, become new resistance levels. And with that being said, going into the days of trading LPCN today, we knew there was a resistance at 420 itself. It went a little bit above 420, so I thought it was going to run, but ended up not running. So I had a stop loss set at 420 just in case. Wanted to make sure I locked in my gains. Went up to 425 and then came back down to 420. So then I sold there, or I cut my, I used the stop loss order type to be able to lock in my profits that I made from $4. So overall, made about $100 and I believe $25 for LPCN. Overall total today, about $300 profit. LPCN was one of my main was the quickest profit I made, and then NUGT was a longer hold throughout the day. But truly successful day. A lot of the traders had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed all the activity that was going on. A lot of questions, which is always really fun to interact with you guys. And a couple traders bringing in their own profit. Shout out to Matthew bringing in $120. Brian being one of the new traders up $1. It really depends on the percentage that you're bringing in. And then Spencer, huge profit today. So let's see if it loads quick enough. He saw a 247% growth. So let's say you had $5,000. With 240%, you would have looked at what is that? $15,000. Well, no, a little bit more. So like 1,800. 500 or 18,500 profit, or not profit, but altogether on your account. So amazing job today when it came to trading. So he said he bought 250 shares at $20, ended up selling and brought in that locked in his profit. So closed the day just talking and wanted to answer a couple questions, but other than that, then that is pretty much it. So thank you guys again so much for tuning in. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to join my group. So it is a free group that you can join right now on this platform itself. We're sitting right around 453 altogether on all three platforms. We're sitting right a little bit under, I believe, 800 members altogether, and this is worldwide. So it's a free group you can join. Again, it's a peer-to-peer networking group, and it's great to teach you, the fundamentals of trading. And you're definitely surrounding yourself with people that are motivated and always asking questions and learning from our mistakes and best practices. So really excited for what TechBuds has to come. And if you guys haven't done so already, we do have a video where we gave back to the homeless. We drove in a $1,000 GTR for the day, and handing out these little care packages that we made with our collaboration with BuBro. So if you haven't done so already, I'm going to put the information down below so you guys can subscribe to BuBros. And then, feel free, the link is going to be provided down below so you guys can, join TechBud Solutions as well. If you guys have any questions and want to email me directly, then that email will be provided for you down below. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and let's make sure that we start, tomorrow on a green note. Take care, guys.